going to talk to you a bit about the exterior of the site today. Now, some people, when they come here, they say, how do I find the Charterhouse? I have to say, the red pillar box. Look for the red box and you'll know where you are. But what is also glorious is this fantastic, distinctive checkerboard wall, which is something I certainly haven't seen elsewhere and really marks out the site from the rest of London. And what we have to remember is the Charterhouse, the almshouse, started in 1611, and for over 400 years it was behind this wall. No one knew what was going on behind here, first with the school and the almshouse, and after 1872 just the almshouse. But it was completely concealed. The brothers lived there, but they didn't really come out, and certainly nobody went in. And then around about 20 years ago, the governor started to talk about the idea of opening it up to the public. And so in 2008, they started off a project called Revealing the Charterhouse, the idea of which was to share what we have and what the brothers have with the rest of London, to show the history and to invite them in. And a competition of architects took place, and Eric Parry emerged as the winner. He's done a lot of work, including the wonderful work at St Martin's in the Fields, and he came up with this fabulous design. He took down what was some railings, and there was a massive fig tree concealing the entrance here, and produced this stunning effect with this extraordinary archway. I have to point out here one of the things I love, which is the gaslight, one of the biggest modern gaslights in London. If you come here in the evening, the atmosphere is glorious. And before COVID-19, we had a lot of private functions. You would walk in here and really the air of mystery is wonderful. And what Eric did, one of the many things he did, was to come up with this idea of having a model of the site with the various buildings and the courtyards to give people on arrival an idea of the extent. The whole area is around 7 acres, and we extend all the way back to Clerkenwell Road, which is quite astonishing in this part of London to have such a large piece of unknown land. And certainly when we can reopen the museum, we will start again to do garden tours and open gardens to encourage the public to come in and visit us. What else can you see here? You can see the entrance to the museum on the left, and then on the right, the tomb of Sir Walter Manny, who was responsible for founding the monastery, the Carthusian monastery, back in the 14th century. And what I love as well is that if you look to the right of the tomb and just above, you'll see a semicircular hole there, which is called a squint. Now the squint, the purpose of the squint is for whoever is in the treasury, which is behind there, to participate in communion. And so it allows the person who has to be there looking after the treasures to look down and just be part of communion. So, because the chapel was originally out here, where we have the chapel now was the chapter house. There are so many things to learn about the Charterhouse. I can only give you a glimpse of what is here in terms of history, and I really encourage you to go onto our website www.thecharterhouse.org and sign up for a support ticket, which will support us now in our hour of need, but also be redeemable against a tour by one of the brothers when we hopefully reopen in the not too distant future. One final thing before I close, just to bring this to life, is 2 weeks after I started this job back in 2017, I was told, you have a royal opening. We were just opening the museum at the time, and so we had two of our royal governors, the Queen and her husband, His Royal Highness Prince Philip, were here. We were all presented. The Queen came in, Prince Philip came in, had a guided tour, and they were thrilled to visit us and thrilled to visit the brothers. So there is a lot of history here. I've only touched on the surface, but I would encourage you to follow this up and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.